Coming up on ECG on the 12th day of Deadpool.
Paramount and Hasbro attempt a cinematic universe.
Independence Day trailer. What year is this?
Kojima is finally free of Konami's grasp.
All of this and more coming up on the East Coast Geek Podcast. Welcome to episode 48 of the East Coast Geek Podcast for Friday, December 18th, 2015, where we bring you all the latest news on comics, movies, and gaming. I'm your host, Jeremy, and with me always as Opu. What's going on, buddy?
Hello. Not much. So I've started getting into the homebrew, right? The homebrew games.
Oh, homebrew games. I thought you were talking about beer.
No, not yet. Not yet. I don't have a place for brewery in the apartment. But, so I bought this game, Luigi's Chronicles. Can you see it all right?
Yeah.
All right, well, I bought this game. You're supposed to start as Luigi. Mario's missing, of course. And ghosts and zombies have invaded the Mushroom Kingdom. And I bought it. It came in. I put it in my NES, and my NES would not boot up.
Do you think it's because of the game?
No, I think well, I know it's not because of the game. It's the power. It won't receive power, so I'm going to take it apart next week. I should have this week, but I was lazy playing Mario Maker and more Metal Gear Solid 5.
Of course.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 5, huh? I hear that's pretty popular amongst the kids.
Well, yeah, it's pretty popular, but I can't stand it. It keeps, I'm so late in the game, it's still trying to force new stuff on me, like the fob and all that. I'm like, no, I don't want that.
You're going to extract him?
Yeah. I'm tired. Yes, I'm going to extract him. I'm the boss. Speaking of which, real quick, that's another thing I hate in games. Like the games like in Fallout 4, where they call you the general. You're the big boss. You're the supreme inquisitor in Dragon Age Inquisition. You're the boss, and yet you have to go do all the fetch quests. Why can't I send somebody else out?
And not only that, the whole time you're doing it, everybody is questioning what you're doing.
Everybody's questioning what you're doing, and everybody else is bossing you around, and you get no respect. I mean, yeah, when you get back on post, you get saluted and crap, but I don't know.
How much are those salutes worth to prove your efforts are not in vain?
Well, you do get to still trank your own people and beat them up. So
right. Yeah. I've been doing a lot of Rainbow Six and Rocket League. I dipped my toe back into that pool, and I fell in hard. So
I'm waiting for it to hit. It's supposed to be hitting the console soon. That's what I'm really waiting for.
The disappointing thing is that on the Xbox One, it does not cross-play with the PlayStation 4 and the PC group.
That just means you're going to have to get it on the Xbox One.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm kind of hoping that they did the same thing they did with PlayStation 4 and it's free for the first month. That would be interesting.
Yeah, I would at least like to try that. You know, I'm not a big fan of multiplayer games because I'm not good at them.
Yeah, but this is a little different than that, though.
Like, I'm so stubborn on learning stuff. I kept trying to set up traps on one mission on Metal Gear Solid 5 earlier.
Yeah.
Like, the convoy was coming. I had C4 set. I was going to just daisy chain it, right? Blow up the first one, blow up the second one, have the one... The middle one, which was my target, always went off to the side, so I had some C4 set there too, so I could blow it up,
right,
and just make it swerve back and crash. And I found out that that wasn't working very well for me. So then I was like looking online for tips, and they were like, "Well, just go to the start point." And I was like, "But that's no fun." So
yeah,
I wanted to finish the mission, so I ran over there. I jumped on there, extracted what I needed to. Then, a boss battle happens. But fortunately, you can avoid those for the most part. And instead of trying to fight my way through, I was like, wait a second. With my upgraded Fulton, I just jump on, I just send something out and jump on and grab it. It extracted me.
That's awesome.
It felt like such a cop-out, but I loved it.
Yeah. It's worth mentioning, too, and I forgot to throw it in the notes for later, but Rocket League... and Psyonix, the company that made it, has earned $50 million in this year, 2015, and it released, there was early access before, but it released, I want to say, May or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head when it actually fully released. But yeah, almost $50 million. It is the most popular independent game. And it's been winning awards left and right. So
It's more popular than Undertale. Did you see that? Undertale beat out Ocarina of Time as best game of all time.
Yeah.
Really,
well,
the Earthbound ripoff.
no.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that one. So
Well, I'd rather Rocket League take the awards as the indies.
So the other thing that's going on is that today is December 18th, and today is The Force Awakens Day. And
Yes.
Star Wars is knocking it out of the park at the box office.
It's all over my news feeds, and I've already been spoiled because of horrible trolls.
No. Why can't people be nice and not spoil stuff?
You know, it would be nice. I already had Fallout 4 spoiled for me, and now this. I'm like, what's the point, you know?
You should just quit Facebook. No.
I should. I really should.
Or just start narrowing down that list of friends, or so-called friends.
Well, fortunately, it hasn't been any close friends. It's just been some pages I follow.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was on a Superman page, and somebody posted the spoiler on there, you know?
That's ridiculous.
So, yeah, I was like, I'm done with this page.
So, with last night's take alone in the U.S., Star Wars has made $57 million so far. In the U.S. alone.
That's pretty good.
The international take for opening was $72.2 million. And that's $129.2 million total in the first, technically, 2 days.
Yeah,
the
so
way the
almost
international
130
date
million
works.
roughly. The budget was $200 million, so all they've got to do is make back about $80 million.
Movies almost paid for in a day, man.
Yeah, in 2 days they paid for it, and now it's just all profit from there.
Yeah.
And you know they didn't even have to do that much advertising for it. You know.
Well, we'll see how much profit it is. I mean, I think they're trying to recuperate most of that money they spent on buying the Lucasfilm properties. So.
Yeah, well, that shouldn't take long. I mean, they're working hard. Like, there's all these rumors that the 1313 game might come back.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
There's I don't know if we've got it in our notes or not. So you know they're pushing their Star Wars property really hard right now. They've already announced the Disney Infinity thing for the Force Awakens. So
yeah, I've been seeing the commercials for stuff like that. And what you were referring to, I pulled from the notes because it was minor because it was only the ads for programmers and stuff. But EA and Visceral are going to start working on an open world Star Wars RPG, which sounds really awesome.
You said EA, and I immediately just was disheartened from it because
but EA is going to be the distributor in this case. They're not going to be the developer company. It's going to be like the same way like Dead Space and stuff they were made by a different firm and then just published by
EA. The corruption of EA is still there. I mean, look at what happened in Dead Space 3 where you could just buy your way through the game.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So, but yeah, so good deal, Star Wars. If you've seen it, good job. If you haven't, and if you've seen it, don't spoil it for people. Come on, you know.
Right. All right. Well, let's go ahead and move into the comic news. Sorry, I got distracted here.
I see.
Darn Facebook. All right. First thing we've got. Let me pull up the picture here because I always forget to do that. First thing we've got here is the Marvel Secret War is set to end in January. Finally.
Yeah. Well, this is just one thing ending. You know, they've already announced like 15 other miniseries. So
right. Well, the Secret War title is going to be done for with its 9th issue.
Yeah. If I remember, if I know this one correctly, because I haven't been buying them because I'm poor. It's basically Doom has become God, and he is annihilating everyone. He's killed. Spoiler alert: he's killed Thanos and Doctor Strange. He ripped Thanos' spine and skull out, and then took the Infinity Gauntlet from him.
Oh, excellent!
Yeah, and so far, somebody was making a joke that he hasn't bothered using his left hand yet in a fight. He just goes, okay, or or whatever.
All this from a blogger, right? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I am just kidding.
Yeah. They took that out of the film, so it made even less sense.
Great. So that's ending. The cover art looks really neat.
There's a lot of variants, of course.
Yeah, I think
like
I saw
10,
like
I think 5.
yeah, something like 4 or 5, and I pulled this one because I think it's, well, it says variant edition. I would assume this is the one they're using, but I think there was another one that had Doom and Mr. Fantastic punching at each other.
There was one that had Doctor Doom and Reed Richards. It's like the little preschool version, the Peanuts version of them.
Right.
It's been like a series going on with them fighting over a giant world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I glanced at them. There's a lot. Yeah, so I've got to buy all these when they hit the trade paperbacks and collections, especially if that means I get all the tie-ins as well.
Gotcha. All right. See, the next thing we've got, you put this in. I didn't catch this one. The pre-Flashpoint Superman will be meeting the New 52 Superman.
Yeah, this is something people have been wanting for a while, and I know it's been like 5 or 6 years since Flashpoint happened. And when Flashpoint first happened, the Superman in that was just like this muscle-bound jerk. He was arrogant. He was cocky. He was mean. You know, he wasn't the Boy Scout kind of guy that we've known and loved and made fun of Superman for years. So had they done this earlier, which people would have said is I don't know, a cop out,
Right.
or whatever. They were already running out of ideas. It would have been a nice clash between them. But now this new 52 Superman is more mellowed out, I guess, in a way.
Right.
So anyway, so now they're going to meet. It's going to be the pre-Flashpoint Superman and the fully powered New 52 Superman. If you remember a while back, we talked about how Superman had burned himself out. Kind of, his powers were fluctuating. He was
losing things, right?
He was back down to just like jeans and a t-shirt.
Yeah, I remember.
As he could only leap great bounds. If you threw enough guys at him, he would probably go down, or enough bullets.
Right.
He could have actually, as opposed to pre-Flashpoint Superman, which can see people's souls. And he can basically read your mind by seeing the way your electrons or the electricity's firing in your brain and stuff. Overpowered as they come.
Right,
but still, when well written, very interesting. So anyway, let me go ahead and give the official docket of it. The pre-Flashpoint Superman meets his fully repowered New 52 counterpart in Superman 50. This version of Superman is a holdover from the recent Convergence event and is currently co-starring in Superman Lois and Clark series. So I guess they're bringing that back. I wonder if they're going to bring back the mullet they had. Did you know that?
No.
After the death of Superman, he came back. He had like this mullet, long hair, almost like Jerry curl thing, because the guy that played Superman in Lois and Clark had long hair when they didn't realize he was going to cut his hair.
Right.
So I think that was the reason why he had long hair for a while, and then when he cut his hair, I think that was it. I might be speaking out of turn there. I'm gonna have to double check that. But of course, I hope they fight. It'd be nice to see these two fight, and especially if the pre-Flashpoint is written as the far more experienced Superman.
the Supermans duke it out, huh?
Yeah, which they've already had that happen several times. I think in the new Flashpoint.
Oh, okay.
Universe, they've had other Supermen fight. Yeah, they had the Hell on Earth story arc, which was a story where Superman basically fought this natural-born Kryptonian. He came to Earth, and he was stronger than Superman, and Lex Luthor called him out on it. He's like, why do you think he's so much more powerful than you? Is it because you hold back so much, or have you gotten soft while on Earth? Or something like that. And it really pissed Superman off.
The gauntlet has been thrown.
Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you go ahead and lead into the next one then? If that's because this is the one that we really want.
Yes. This is the one that we want. You see my stuff back here, right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta show it off. I'm so happy I got it. Anyways, the Ryan Reynolds, or Deadpool, announced the 12 Days of Deadpool on December 14th. I think, now this is from my buddy Kelly, that the 12 Days of Christmas means the days after Christmas. But I don't know. So I'll have to check that one out. But anyways, so we got a viral video of Deadpool, seen here, holding eggnog, explaining what he was going to do. That every day they were going to release some stuff, like a new cover, magazine cover. If you haven't watched the video, you just need to. It's hilarious.
Yeah,
and then he takes tries to swig the eggnog at the end. Have you seen it?
No, but he can't drink it.
But no, some stuff can get through the mask.
Oh, okay.
Like there's scenes in the comics where he's trying to force a pizza or popcorn. He forgets that he has the mask on.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
Yeah.
He's a busy man. He doesn't have time for such trivial things.
Exactly. He's got places to go and people to kill.
Right.
So far, here's some of the stuff we've got. We've gotten a new poster. We got an animated GIF of Ryan, or GIF, however you want to pronounce it, of Ryan Reynolds sitting on Deadpool's lap. We can't play the GIF on here, I guess, so I didn't pull it.
Right. Yeah, I'll have to look into getting that taken care of.
I can probably. That poster, by the way, I think that's a cool poster.
Yeah, it's a really neat poster.
Then we got a battle plan for fighting Wolverine, or as Deadpool referred to him on the paper, Honey Badger.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. Yeah, I saw this at the top right, and I was looking at the at the bottom. It says "Red Hot Spring-Loaded Nut-Punching Doorknob." That's great. It looks like a plan out of like Home Alone. His battle plan.
It does, but. And I love that he's been using crayons for absolutely everything. I don't know, it just makes it so much more authentic, you know? I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Reynolds, because he's been so into this character, that he sat down and drew this, obviously with some people helping him or something, but...
one room's got
medical... Did you see the tweet that he sent out one time? That he was like, my daughter is drawing already, and it looks like crap.
Oh my god. There's a room full of medical waste, some Komodo dragons, and what are those cannons?
He's got cannons there, it looks like. But I just love his drawing of Honey Badger.
Did you see on the back steps it says booby trap, and it's a pair of boobs there?
I didn't see that.
Yeah, listen, genius is coming out of this movie. I can't wait.
Yeah, this is going to be I think this is going to be a really surprise hit. I'll be severely. I try not to get hyped anymore because I'm a cynical old man. But this movie's really pumping me up.
Listen, you have absolutely nothing else to go see in February, so just see this.
Well, that's true. That is absolutely true. That is like a dead month.
Yeah. Usually. Now it's a Deadpool month.
And now it's going to be Deadpool month. Yeah. So we also got a new teaser pic / cover, I think, for Empire.
Yeah, that's cool. That's neat.
That would also be cool as a poster, I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And not only that, we got a wish list to Santa.
Number one on the list is a lock of Beast's beautiful blue hair. That is great.
It is glorious, especially when he had the horn hair like Wolverine does. And then he's got like a pirate hat on there. $240 worth of pudding.
2 silencers and 3 loudners.
Here's an interesting thing that I saw. You see the wearable teleporter?
Yeah.
Up there? You know, he actually has that in the comics and in Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
It says with built-in pedometer, by the way.
Yes, I don't know if he has a pedometer on in his teleporter in the comics, but
great.
But yeah, so it's absolutely great. We guys, I know we got
something stronger than penicillin.
Yeah.
This is terrible. This is a great list.
Yeah.
A new fourth wall for the bathroom since mine is broken. Oh man, this is awesome.
Yeah, dude, I'm so pumped. I love the character. You know, I loved him for a while. You know, back in the '90s when he was kind of more, he wasn't as fleshed out, I guess, or they wouldn't let him get away with the stuff he gets away with now in the comics.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I I think there was supposed to be another trailer released with Star Wars. I'm not sure. I thought that was what we saw, or unless it was
Yeah,
just
there was supposed to be several trailers released for Star Wars. So,
Yeah.
but everybody's so busy talking about Star Wars that nobody's wanting to talk about the trailers. You know?
Right. Hey, but we got you covered here soon.
Yeah, trust me, we'll be covering this as well.
So
I've got a tattoo of Deadpool, so I've got to cover this stuff. I think I'm legally obligated at this point.
right. You signed your life away to that one, huh?
Yep.
All right. Well, then let's go ahead and move into the movies because we got a bunch of stuff in there.
Oh man, do we? Ooh, we do.
Hey, how about if I turn that back up? Awesome.
Yeah, that would help. I can see the music.
All right. Go ahead and with the first thing here.
Okay, so Paramount and Hasbro is jumping on the combined cinematic universe bandwagon, and they're trying to create their own comic/movie universe. They own the rights to Transformers, G.I. Joe, Micronauts, and I think another one, and I can't think of it all. Why am I thinking Rom the Space Knight? Yeah, because he's in the picture, Rom the Space Knight. So from left to right, that's Micronauts, G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Rom the Space Knight. Which, to be fair, in the comic books, G.I. Joe and Transformers has crossed over before. I think Rom kind of has before. But they can't even get the Transformers right in their own movies or the G.I. Joes right in their own movies.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. But they want that. They want that cinematic universe. They want to make that money.
They want that cinematic universe money, but they don't want to put forth the cinematic universe effort. You know, they're putting the cart before the horse, or whatever you want to say, and it's just a terrible idea all the way around. They want Michael Bay to make all these movies. Michael Bay doesn't have. I mean, the '80s cartoon. Everybody hypes the Transformers '80s cartoon. Still had more heart. It might not have aged as well as like Disney movies, but it still has more heart in it than anything Michael Bay has done with the Transformers movies.
I'm surprised with all the Michael Bay in here, there's no Turtles. Or do they not own the rights to... I thought it was Paramount,
no,
right?
They don't own the rights to that.
Oh, okay.
I lost my point. And anyway, so the 80s movie was just a movie they put forth to get rid of their Generation 1 toys and bring in the Generation 2 toys.
Right.
That's everyone that they basically it was somebody made it the equivalent of it was a relay race, not a relay, it was like a marathon race to the end, and they just shot every toy that they were discontinuing.
Jeez. Hey, good plan.
I don't know. I do not have any confidence in this series. I would love to see an authentic ROM or Micronauts movie. Micronauts actually ended up kicking Wolverine's ass in the comics. They're the ones that disabled his healing factor.
Yeah. All right.
You got anything for that one?
No, that's all I got on that. That's it'll be interesting to see how they tie everything in because
I think they got to reboot everything. They got to start from scratch.
They would have to because there's absolutely nothing Transformers in G.I. Joe and there's nothing in G.I. Joe Transformers. So.
And now that the Transformers are going into space, which somehow they're still going to bring the humans with them.
Wait a minute, I thought Transformers came from space.
They did, but they're going back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Marky Mark's going to be back for number 5, by the way.
No, I
don't know if you saw that.
Go sit and,
Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch are going to be in.
Hopefully, he gets blown up in the first 5 minutes, and we get to see the Transformers actually be Transformers.
Yeah, there you go. Well, let's go take back Cybertron, or did it blow up? I can't remember.
No, it blew up in the second or third.
Oh, that's right. You know what?
Ripped in half.
Everything after the first one's kind of a haze. And I didn't even see the fourth one. Yeah, right? I got so far through till he got back to his home, which I think was in the first 5 minutes, and I turned it off.
I don't even want to go on. It just depresses me.
So, let's move on to a potential disappointment. And I'm still saying potential because, we haven't seen it, but at the same time, a lot of other movies have been goofing up where they're trying to be successful. And this is that awesome Ghostbusters picture that they just released of the crew. I don't know what to think. I really
You
don't.
don't know what to think.
I don't know what to think.
I mean,
And the posters don't look any better. I couldn't find a good picture of them right before the show, but they're just like like body parts and equipment, not even the characters'
like
faces or anything like that. One of each of them. Like I think one of them's Leslie Jones there on the far right, holding the proton apparatus, the gun part.
I don't know what this.
I don't know. I keep
Only one of them has anything close to a Transformers. Somebody's got me thinking about Optimus Prime's lips right now. The Ghostbuster pose.
yeah.
Then you got Miss Punk Rocker here with her haircut, and it's a freaking scientific device. It's not a baseball bat, okay?
Right.
I mean, what part happened that these are pieces of equipment that you're not supposed to play around with?
Yeah, I don't know.
They all look awful, first of all. I mean, I know the main cast of Ghostbusters, none of them were appealing.
Yeah.
They purposely put themselves out there to not be appealing, you know? Either in looks or the way their personalities were.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I just...
These are almost cartoon characters of themselves, almost. In real life, they're not. Yeah. I don't feel like it's being taken seriously. That's why I'm kind of down on it. But I mean, I'm sure
it's like they took all the pieces of Ghostbusters apart, try to add in other pieces from something else, and now are mad that it doesn't fit back together.
Right.
And are blaming the fans when they're saying, "Hey, maybe you want to adjust this, maybe you want to adjust that." When we've, you know, and it's not like they have any ground for us to say, well, that's not how he looks or acts in the comics, but we could trust you because you've done so well in these other properties like DC has, for the most part, and Marvel has.
Right.
And then you've got the gates, I can only assume, that lead to Gozer, so that already shows you that it might be just a rehash of the first plot, which, Ghostbusters is pretty much, aside from like references to Elvis and stuff, it might be almost a timeless classic in comedy that that doesn't date itself.
Mike said anything for money, not real Ghostbusters. Hell, I'd take the real Ghostbusters at this point.
You know what? Here's the thing. They could have done it as Extreme Ghostbusters too. Remember that cartoon?
Yeah, that one was really good too.
That would have been perfect. They could have, and unfortunately Harold Ramis could not have been Egon in it, but
right.
You got Dan Aykroyd. Have Dan Aykroyd be the aged professor Ghostbuster now, and he can't do it anymore. So he gets some of the only 4 college kids that are in this course and puts them together.
Right.
And people would have accepted that as a passing of the torch, not a complete reboot or whatever crap.
Yeah, I listen, in the world of movies at this point, I am getting really tired of reboots. Listen, I can only take Bruce Wayne's parents dying so many more times before it should be something that's like, it's known.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping with the Spider-Man thing. They don't rehash that crap again. We already know. Go ahead and show us him being Spider-Man,
Right.
There's so many other stories in there that you could tell.
And that's what I
really wish that Marvel could get the rights back to the X-Men, and we would get the storyline Nothing Stops the Juggernaut, where Spider-Man by himself is trying to stop the Juggernaut.
Yeah, and it's like what the heck was I gonna say? Oh, I had it and I stopped to let you talk.
That's always a bad idea.
Oh, it really is, because crap. Bruce Wayne's parents. There was something else. Oh, the Spider-Man stuff. All right. Yes, I totally agree. Hopefully, with Civil War, like they said, they want to pick up like he's already on the move as a hero.
I mean, he might not be well established, but he's an up-and-comer.
Which would mean we wouldn't have to watch Uncle Ben die again. That's another one that I can't stand watching die, and I've only seen that twice.
Well,
in movie format. And at least in the Batman stuff, it's usually flashbacks. Yeah.
The original Batman movie or the 80s, 89 Batman movie, it was a flashback.
Right.
When they discussed it in Batman Forever, it was him seeing the therapist.
Right.
Nolan, of course, showed it, but enough time had passed, not 2 or 3 years, so it kind of
Gotham TV series takes place right at the beginning. It happens. His
like in the
his
first
parents
3 minutes
die.
or 5 minutes, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that would be fine as a setup.
And then in the new movie, we're gonna get it yet again as a flashback, I would assume.
Yeah, and the thing is, we can't. Since we know these characters are going to die, we're not going to have any emotional connection to them. We know what happens,
right?
So it lessens the impact of it. So it's always a bad move to do stuff like that. So we kind of got off point here with the Ghostbusters. This looks bad. I'll wait to see the trailer, but the trailers to me, that's their advertisement. That's them saying, "Hey, this is our product. This is why you should spend money on it." I don't care if it's 6 months and they can still work on the CGI or whatever. If they think it's ready for a trailer, then they're as teaser trailers aside, obviously, because they're usually like 3 seconds long. But if they think it's ready for an actual 2 or 3 minute trailer, then it's ready for prime time. They should be able to release it tomorrow. It should be ready. Aside from final touches.
And the next thing we're going to cover, even some of the cast and crew aren't happy with the
this is
one of these trailers.
I haven't seen this one yet. Go ahead, you take it.
All right. Well, one of the first few leaks before Star Wars came out. I think it happened Wednesday before the French release. Both Independence Day Resurgence and Star Trek Beyond trailers got leaked. And then finally, both studios released them officially on YouTube. But we're going to cover Star Trek Beyond first. Uh-oh. We're already getting boos from the chat room. Star Trek Beyond. No, he's boo. Hey, listen. I know Mike, and he just doesn't like the new Star Trek stuff. He's a huge Trekkie.
Are you classic, original, or you?
Oh, he's classic. He said he went to go see Star Wars last night in a crew hoodie with a communicator on and some other stuff. So he went undercover Star Trek fan in a Star Wars theater, and nobody noticed. Anyways, from what you can see in the trailer, the ship is getting destroyed. And I would have to assume it's going to be early in to help set forward the plot for the movie. They're getting attacked by some, at this point, unknown race. And they look like fletchet rounds, like tearing apart the ship and cutting through the hull. Wait,
didn't it get destroyed in the first film as well?
Second.
No.
Second.
So every film has opened with the Enterprise or a version of the Enterprise getting destroyed.
The first one was
Kirk's dad.
Kirk's dad, but that wasn't the Enterprise, though.
No, that wasn't, but it was still a starship. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Their spaceships are getting destroyed in every film.
The Enterprise got torn up in the second one when they were going back in towards Earth.
I didn't watch the second one.
It was actually good.
Huh?
It was actually good. I liked it for the entertainment value, but But anyways, some fans are mad still with the departure from the classic Star Trek scientific exploration kind of thing, where now you've got nothing but explosions and uncharacteristic fights, tons of combat where there never would before. So, and then some of the neat things about the trailer, hopefully we'll see a lot about the relationship between Spock and Dr. McCoy.
You're right. I don't know if that is the Enterprise because I don't see all the lens flares in there.
Oh my gosh. J.J. Abrams didn't direct this new one.
He didn't. Oh yeah, that's right. He had to do Star Wars.
Yeah, he was doing Star Wars. It was Justin Lin.
So we might actually be able to see the entire screen this time. Good.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like Star Trek, Fast and the Furious, because Justin Lin's the director, and he was the one that just got done directing Fast and Furious 7. So,
of course, some people he knows actual plot, man.
Some of the reviews of the trailer I read, people are already getting on him about having a motorcycle jumping in on the in the trailer. So, but anyways, hopefully we get a little bit from the Spock and McCoy thing, because it's been overshadowed by the Spock and Kirk thing for the first two movies. Like, it was almost a love affair, especially in the second one.
Oh man, what's it?
I think I really like Bones. Bones is one of my favorite characters, anyways, and Carl Urban, I think, plays him perfectly. If DeForest Kelley wasn't around, Carl Urban would be the guy you'd go to. So he's been doing an exemplary job, and even there's a part where they're surrounded by him and Spock are surrounded by these ships, and he looks at Spock and he says, "At least I'm not going to die alone." And as he's looking back at the ships on his side, Spock gets beamed away, and Bones turns around and says, "Well, isn't that convenient?" or something like that. It was hilarious, and that's a good thing that the little bit of tongue-in-cheek comedy from him's in there. So,
Well, my favorite actor for it in the series is Simon Pegg. Really, I like him in pretty much everything I've seen him in. I don't think Bones got enough. Like I said, I've only seen the first one. I don't think he got enough screen time really in the first one.
He
for me to get attached to his acting on it.
You got to watch the second one. He gets a lot more in that. So,
well, I'll try to check it out. Like I said, a lot of people were really disappointed with the second one. Even the cast and crew. In fact, which I guess we need to go ahead. Neither the old actors or the new actors seem very pleased with the trailer.
Yeah, with the current trailer, the one that was just released, yeah, they are not happy at all. Simon Pegg seems to have been the most vocal. He was very, very displeased with how they cut up the movie. I thought that I can't remember what it was. It was either
he said something like, "Don't worry, it gets better. I promise you."
Yeah,
this is not very.
And I
so
think
it could be that the fight scenes that are in the trailer are everything that, like, all the action that there is,
yeah,
as opposed to, it's set up a lot more of how the original Star Trek was or supposed to be. Or,
right. Well,
I don't even know what this film series is trying to emulate anymore, really.
Action adventure movies. That's what it's trying to do instead of trying to be Star Trek like it should have been. It's chasing after the money. That's what they're doing. So.
Yeah, well, you attract more flies with honey.
Right.
So if they would make something that would appeal to the fans, and people would still go see it because it's
Star Trek.
a space age film reboot, and people do that. Also, so they're introducing the Crawl race, a new species.
No, it's not. It's not the race. That's the character name.
Idris Elba, right?
Yeah. We don't know what race he is yet. There's some assumption that it may or may not be. Michael, help me out with this. But I think it was he said they look a lot like the Dominion from Deep Space Nine. But he could be wrong, and they have said that they have not said who the species is yet. So,
well, I was personally hoping that we were going to see what was the lizard race? The Gorm.
The which one?
The Gorm that Kirk fought that one time. He built the bamboo cannon.
Oh, I don't remember off the top of my head.
It was the alien lizard, and one of the infinite alien gods they had found had put Kirk there to fight it to see which one was superior.
Oh, okay.
And he found all the stuff to make like an impromptu cannon and put it together. And Gorn, yep.
Yeah, he says Gorn. Yeah. All right.
I gotta always watch what I say because I could have said porn or something.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Which I just said. So I just.
I don't know. It was hard to read that trailer, and it was, and I think that was the other thing that Mike was complaining about was the transporter at the end of the trailer. He's in all caps. I got, "That's not how transporters work," Because there's a scene where Kirk's jumping through the air and grabs the arm of a female alien, and as they're jumping through the air, they get transported onto the ship and then fall flat on the transporter pad.
Impossible all the time, especially if it gets him laid.
Yeah. Well, apparently it was sensationalized, and I mean they're really using that creative license really well. So.
Yeah.
And he said that the race that Crawl looks like is the Jem'Hadar. So
I thought that was an actor. I was like, Jim Hader. Who's
No.
Jim Hader?
Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean, if you got Idris Elba as a name, Jim Hader could be a name.
yeah, there you go. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Independence Day Resurgence. Now,
I did see this one.
Now, listen. This did exactly the opposite of what that X-Men Apocalypse trailer did. This made me want to see this movie. And this is the first trailer that I've seen for this. And kind of hope that it's the last. I'm really curious as to what's going on. I think it looks really good. I don't know if it's the nostalgia talking or... You know, I feel like it genuinely compelled me to want to see this movie.
See, here's the thing. I don't have that much nostalgia for the film. Yeah, I was young when it came out, and I've seen it and that stuff. But I was like, you know, while I enjoyed it, I didn't, like, obsess over it. So
I watched it a lot.
Well, I'm not saying I didn't watch it a lot. Trust me, I've seen it a lot. There was one point I was quoting half of it. But I just didn't have that emotional connection to it. So when I saw this new trailer, I can go ahead and tell you that I was like, it's like they did a complete. You know, I don't remember the original trailers, but this one made it look like it was almost a straight up horror film.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, the start of it was really eerie. You know, they're driving out to that site, and you know, there's something I think only you know what this is, and it was interesting. It drew me in, and
I do like that they were showing how the alien tech had been incorporated into modern society, because that's exactly what would happen, you know.
I grabbed a picture of the jet with and there's off to the side of the on the wings is the jet fans or whatever that they use for stabilization for horizontal flight. So it's
I don't know, but
neat.
you know, they took. I don't know if that's the version, but they took off into space or whatever.
Yeah, and from the cast of characters, the next picture I've got here, no Will Smith to be found. I don't know if he cost too much or whatever, but it seems like they killed him off.
Well, here's my thing. You said that they put in Dalen Hiller as Will Smith's son.
Yeah. And he's all
I hate when
up.
they do that, when they're like, okay, well, the actor that played him before was too expensive, so we're just going to say, oh, well, this is his son, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And now the son's got to live up to the father. It's so cliche and tired to do that. Why didn't they just hire a new actor to play the Will Smith's character?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
It was
in Iron Man 2, you know?
Maybe it was just how iconic that role was, I guess. I don't know.
It's not like trying to replace Jay off of Men in Black to me, or which they're trying to do anyway. Replace him as the Fresh Prince. I don't know. I guess I don't know. Maybe because like I said, I'm not that attached to this film. I enjoyed it. My favorite character though was Jeff Goldblum's dad in it.
Oh yeah, Judd Hirsch.
They spent $10,000 on a hammer, $50,000 on a toilet seat. Now, did you?
And he's back for the movie. That's awesome. Yeah. And Bill Pullman, I pulled the picture back up of the cast. Bill Pullman's back again, and I haven't tracked him in a while. He's he's nice and gray now.
He does have him a glorious silver beard there.
Yeah.
And that's the chick that played Will Smith's wife. She has aged very well.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's Vivica Fox, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was her.
I am. That's What was her name in Kill Bill? Was she Black Mamba or was she?
Black Mamba was the one with the one eye, wasn't she?
I can't remember. I haven't seen those in a while.
She was. See, I just don't. I'm so bad at actors. I didn't realize that was her either.
Yeah, that's her. So yeah, it's good to see a bunch of people coming back, and especially like you said, Judd Hirsch, Jeff Goldblum's father in the show was that's great to see. I like to see people come back in sequels like that. Even this being when it comes out, it'll come out on its 20th anniversary. Think about that.
Oh really? That would be cool. Perfect.
So there's that. And like I said, definitely compelling me to want to go and see that movie for sure.
Yeah, I just hope none of the following trailers reveal too much or ruin the semi-suspense eeriness of this one. You know?
Yeah.
Because now that I think about it, the Independence Day, the opening had a great beginning to me. It set up all the characters, and I've said that before. I always loved the calm before the storm,
Right.
stuff. You get to see these people be in their lives and how everything gets twisted. Sometimes when it's done well, it's very fun. When it's not done well, it's boring. So.
Right. All right. The next thing I wasn't tracking, and I'm glad you caught this. This is kind of interesting, actually. If you want to go ahead and take that.
Yes. Kurt Russell is being eyed to play Star-Lord's dad in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I'm 100% behind this. I absolutely adore Kurt Russell. He's a fun actor. He's
Snake Plissken, Captain Ron.
Yeah, Captain Ron, Snake Plissken, especially Snake Plissken.
Right.
Speaking of Metal Gear Solid, huh?
No, not the same one.
Close enough.
Yeah, there you go.
Marvel's... this is like kind of a rumor, but not really. Marvel Studios has not yet offered the part to Russell, and the actor has not yet read the full script. But the meetings are expected to take place soon between the two parties. I think with the way Chris Pratt acts and Kurt Russell, how some of his characters are, is they'll be so similar. I think they'll be able to play off each other pretty well.
Right. Yeah, and they've both got those quick wits.
Yeah, definitely. And they basically, Chris Pratt's his recent movies are basically being almost like Kurt Russell in a way. Like,
do you feel like he's getting typecast?
Especially.
Do you feel like he's getting? Do you feel like he's getting typecast now?
Chris Pratt?
He's dangerously close to being typecast as that leading man hero type.
I think he might be getting close to being typecast as comedic action hero that we had with like Indiana Jones.
Well, and that's the reason why I said that is because people really want him for Indiana Jones, and it's like, well, that's basically what he is in Guardians of the Galaxy and somewhat in Jurassic World, even though I still haven't watched it.
I haven't either. But here's the thing:
it's sitting up. It's sitting up on my.
Necessarily a bad thing?
No, not at all.
Yeah. So.
Well, I don't know, because I guess actors go through this kind of thing. They get set in this way, and then that's kind of their thing for a while, and sometimes they get to their other potentials too late. But I mean, he's been doing.
I think
the comedy roles for a while.
It just depends on their breakout role,
Yeah.
Like, look at Vincent Price. Was he typecast or what?
Oh, for sure. I don't think that dude did anything.
He absolutely loved what he did.
I don't think that dude did anything but horror movies.
Yeah, he did a Disney movie, but he played one of the scariest villains in Disney history. Ratigan?
Yeah.
God, he was creepy.
Yeah.
I think that was actually his final role too, sadly. But anyway, yeah. So I think as long as the actor enjoys it, I mean, yeah, they could get tired of it. They could take a break. I know a sad story is the guy that played Al Bundy, Ed McGuinness or whatever.
What? Al Bundy
was after Married with Children. He was going to play like the role of this general on trial or something. And so they had him do some test shootings, and when they had some kind of test audience watch it, and it like panned up dramatically, and they saw him sitting there, they started laughing because it was Al Bundy.
Yeah.
So, and you see how long it took between, Married with Children and Modern Families, for him to become
Big again. Yeah.
big again, relevant again, aside from, well, I mean, I guess he was still playing Al Bundy when he was in Wayne's World and stuff. Remember, he was the bartender or whatever. He
Yeah.
owned a donut shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, so it could be bad or good, and I think it gets worse for the actor when they try to forcibly break out of it, as
Right.
opposed to organically.
Right.
Oh,
Right.
The Thing too. Kurt Russell was in The Thing. That's
Yeah.
probably my favorite horror movie of all time.
That is one of the best.
Yeah.
It is on the top of a lot of people's lists. So.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, there's another thing here.
Well, I'll go ahead and finish this up real quick since I
Okay.
got to do the geek thing on it. If Russell and Marvel make a deal, he won't be the only new addition to the cast. Newcomer Palm, maybe I should let you say this.
Clementif.
What?
It looks like Clementif.
Clemente joins the cast in October in a major role, most likely as the guardian known as Mantis. Mantis was trained by the priests of Palma to become a grand mistress of the martial arts, demonstrated as fully capable of defeating opponents as skilled as Captain America while he was distracted, like fighting a dragon. She could also instinctively sense weak points in opponents, and with her skills and pressure points, knock out beings as powerful as the Thunder God Thor. She has only lost in hand-to-hand martial arts in matches to Moondragon, who is grossly overpowered. She's one of the most powerful telepaths in the universe, for one thing. And her father, Libra. She has attained a mastery of meditational disciplines, giving her an unusual amount of control over her body, including automatic functions like heartbeat, bleeding, and breathing, as well as an awareness of pain, allowing her to more quickly heal injuries through sheer force of will, and affording most superhuman reflexes and reactions. She also has psychic empathy, a telepathic power that allows her to sense the emotions of others, and that's only scratching the surface of her abilities.
Wow.
So if she joins the cat, or if she joins as Mantis, and then we got two superpowered ladies, I wonder if we're going to have them butt heads a little bit.
Oh, come on.
Because Gamora was like, she's probably the third strongest member of the team outside of Drax and Groot.
Right.
I mean, she was personally trained by Thanos. I know the movies, unfortunately, didn't go into what she was capable of or what her sister was capable of, which is one of the weak points of that film.
Yeah.
So we didn't know any of their limitations as opposed to the very human Star-Lord. Rocket, we had a pretty good idea of because he is enhanced raccoon.
With a gun. With lots of guns.
With a very big gun and a very big mouth. And Drax, we saw his limits when he went up against Ronan the Accuser.
Yeah.
And got absolutely curb stomped in a glorious, awful battle. And Groot, well, he was basically their do-anything robot, but as a plant monster.
Right.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2 will open on May 5th, 2017. If you're interested, I'm sure none of you are interested at all.
That's too far away.
I know that's too far away, but we got a big year ahead.
Yeah, I know. With what? We got Deadpool, Captain America Civil
Superman,
War,
Captain America 3,
the Warcraft movie. Oh, we're talking about
movie.
comic movies, huh?
Well, I was just talking about. I mean, yeah, Warcraft. What Warcraft movie comes out in January, right?
No, it doesn't come out
You got
till
pushed
June.
back.
It comes out in June.
Okay, I thought it. That's right. You got pushed back like twice.
Yeah, well, the first time was because of Star Wars.
Yeah, well, the only thing that had
Who wouldn't?
the nuts to go up against Star Wars was the Chipmunk movie.
It's getting stomped. I'm sure.
Why did they do that?
Wait. What was that name? What was the name of that movie? Chipmunks. Is it On the Road or something like that?
Yeah, hits the road or on the road.
I can't
You gotta
remember.
look it up now, don't you?
I'm trying to look it up. Oh, the Road Chip. That's what it is. It's funny because it sounds like road trip. I get it. All right, where's the... here we go. Wikipedia. All right, it's a $90 million budget. So they don't have much to fight for, but they're going to have a problem fighting for that money.
Jim and the Holograms couldn't make a $5 million budget back.
Yeah, but they weren't going up against Star Wars.
Yeah, they weren't going up against Star Wars either.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's definitely a good year coming up for movies, but for sure also with the gaming, and that's a neat little segue. We'll go into the gaming now.
Yeah, we'll use it. They're neater if you don't reference that they're segues.
Oh,
I'm trying to learn that too.
I know.
We like to bask in our cleverness, I know.
Nintendo NX controllers just look really weird. Have you seen the new controller scheme?
Yeah, it's like it's got two handles and it's got like a faceplate.
Yeah.
With the screen.
Well, the faceplate's a screen though. That's really interesting.
Yeah, you can't knock Nintendo for trying. They are not afraid to try something different at the very least.
Of course not. That's why we have the Wiimote.
And to be honest with you, I didn't like the Wiimote. The Wii U was not a very strong system to me. I'm enjoying the Wii U a little bit more.
Yeah.
Although I've only got a handful of games on it, like Mario Maker, Hyrule Warriors, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, which, I just don't know. It's. I hate to sound like a Nintendo fanboy, but at least they're trying to stay a game system,
Yeah.
As opposed to they spread themselves so thin that they become nothing. They become mediocre at everything, like some of the other game systems are trying to do.
So the way this controller's set up, it looks like it would be very comfortable for you to have to touch a button on the touchscreen with your thumb, as well as still have access to both sticks and the buttons on the controller. I think it's actually a really interesting integration, and it gives the programmers more customization for control schemes, and not have them locked into only using these, the 4 buttons plus a couple of triggers or whatever.
Yeah, maybe they can add in some more artificial buttons, I guess you could say. Or
context sensitive buttons too.
Yeah, context sensitive.
Like that sidle button with Wind Waker. I always thought that was like a typo. When you get up to a ledge and it'd say sidle, and I was like, I feel like that's spelled wrong.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that. So,
I mean, now I feel like an idiot, but
here's I don't know. I hope it does well. I'll probably buy it. The NX system whenever it comes out.
Of course, Nintendo fanboy.
I don't know. Because you'll have to look down at your screen down here. And I guess you could still see the game going on. I
think after a while you'd get used to not having to look. You'd learn the position of the buttons eventually.
Yeah, eventually. I'm just worried that they're trying to make us divide our attention too much. Like, I've been using the gamepad for Mario Maker, right? And I don't even look at the TV screen. I'm just looking at it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But now this screen's going to be small. I will say at least this looks small enough that it can actually fit in a normal grip, because sitting out wide...
Yeah.
It gets kind of frustrating sometimes.
If it's too wide, it's going to be a problem. But I think they're...
It's tricky because now will the screen be too small for you to clearly see? Or
well, with these drafts, it looks like it's a good amount of space. I mean, those small buttons in the center on the bottom of the controller are probably about the size of the little buttons that are on the Wii,
like
the Wii
Xbox
controllers,
One,
the start and back buttons on the Xbox One.
Yeah. And it's good that they're making the buttons transparent as well, because that gives them a little bit more screen. I also have to worry about the battery life. That's been the biggest weakness to me.
Okay,
of the Wii U.
So if they make it to where you can put in your own battery pack, vice having it hardwired like the PS4, that's always been my big complaint about the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation systems in general. Is usually those things are just internal batteries, and once the batteries are dead, you have to get a new controller or play with it plugged in all the time. At that point, why do I have a wireless controller that I can't use? That's the one thing that I've really liked about the Xbox One controllers and the Xbox controllers. My battery life on those are incredible.
Yeah,
If
mine
they can,
lasts. Mine, if I'm using it for just streaming and stuff, and occasionally messing with it, it can last for a few days.
yeah.
Even playing a game like Metal Gear, it lasts me 6 or 7 hours. That's almost nonstop playing on
Which
my days
are
off.
you using regular batteries or are you using a
No,
battery?
I actually use like a third party. I think.
Oh, okay. I've got the. Is it the Energizer charger set?
Uh,
Because that's the one I bought. As soon as I got the system, that was the first thing I got. And actually,
that's what I got.
oh, it's a different one. Okay, it's probably Nyko or something like that.
I got Power A.
Oh,
Whatever
Powerade.
it was.
All right, yeah, I've got the Energizer one. That's like the officially licensed charger for the Xbox One controllers. So
Yeah, but even something like this that's like an off-brand works absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yours probably works even better.
yeah, it's great battery life. 6 to 7 hours, no problem. I set that thing on the charger, and maybe a half hour later, it's fully charged again. I don't understand what kind of voodoo magic is going on, but those batteries are lasting forever. So
Yeah, and like I'm saying, the Wiimote, because I'd want to sit there and play Mario Maker or whatever. I want to sit there and play a 6 hour game session. I'm
Yeah.
trying to relax. I don't want to be wired into the console or into the. If you want me to have a wired controller, then I'll have a wired controller. But don't give me something wireless this day and age, and make it only last 3 hours. That's Game Gear with 8 batteries.
right.
In the 90s.
Oh my gosh.
Nintendo's always had great battery life.
Yeah.
And now it's like they're going backwards on that while they're trying. I don't know.
Yeah, one of the things that we actually made for a purchase for the big Christmas gift for the family this year is actually the third-party chargers for those remotes. So hopefully those last a while. But
Well, fortunately, it does come with like its own AC cable. So, say you keep the touchscreen by the couch, you can just keep it plugged in there.
oh, see, we didn't buy a pad or a charger or a external battery for that yet. That's one of those things that's on the
No.
list.
It comes with its own.
Oh, I know. I
I
understand.
think the battery's stuck in this. It's internal as well.
I understand. I have small children that don't like to treat AC cables properly. Or
That's also
like
true.
USB mini cables get destroyed in this household. So,
Yeah.
I would rather end up spending I think it was $20 for the Nyko battery pack. That's like double the battery life of the original, and you can get a charging cradle separate and all that crap. So that'll be something that we do. So, but anyways, yeah, this new controller it's a neat idea, and I hope it succeeds. And PlayStation will steal it later.
Yeah. And then, don't worry, the Microsoft will try to steal it too.
But Sony has stolen something cooler, arguably.
Yes, they've actually stole something that everybody else should have been vying for.
Yeah.
They stole Kojima. He will be working on a PS4 exclusive, apparently. They must have paid an exorbitant ransom for him. I know his contract officially ended, I think, December 15th.
Yeah.
With Konami. So he's either making a new production studio or he was able to take Kojima Productions with him. I mean, I know it has his name on there, but I don't know if he had signed away the rights or whatever to Konami.
Oh, do you mean the rights to his name?
Yeah.
or the combination of Kojima Productions?
Would you put that past Konami at this point?
Yeah. It's a neat logo he's got there, too.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot going on there.
I'll tell you what, he looked, from seeing the video after he made the farewell video or whatever,
Yeah.
of everybody thanking him, to seeing him today, it does look like he's been in a dungeon chained up. He looks so old right now, and I feel so bad for him.
And emaciated. Somebody needs to feed that man.
He still wants to work with Guillermo del Toro on making a game, and please do.
Oh, you ain't kidding. If they don't even have to call it Silent Hill. They can find a different title and do the whole same thing, as long as it's a variation of something else. If it's different enough.
Definitely. Especially if they could get that manga horror artist. I forget his name off the top of my head right now. That was initially joining them. Just get the band back together.
Yeah, getting the band back together. That's great. Yeah, that would be awesome. And I've heard people have found a way to actually re-download that PT demo as well on the PlayStation 4.
I'm sure it'll be fixed by the time this airs. But yeah, I heard that too. Geez, I should have bought a PS4 now, but it'll be okay. I'll get one before they finish a game. You know,
Yeah.
he's not. Kojima's not known for keeping his games on a good timeline. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, look how long
I
it
mean,
took
but
us
when
to
they
get
come out, they're fun. So
Metal Gear 5. So, yeah. It'll be neat to see what comes out of there. I'm a little disappointed that it'll only be PlayStation 4, but because the guy's a genius with games. So,
well, if it's just one exclusive for the PS4, and he can then be just a solid third party developer,
yeah.
and he can jump anywhere, then I'm sure Microsoft and even Nintendo will get some fun stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Uh,
That would be nice. It's a nice thought. Hopefully, it'll happen.
yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit for him now because everybody loves him. He's just coming off a massive sale. You know,
For sure.
what did Metal Gear Solid? 100 million copies sold or something like that.
I don't know if it's that much, but
It was. I thought it was one of the highest selling. It was one of the highest selling games of the year.
oh, I'm sure. For sure.
And it had some strong contenders this year between Witcher 3, Fallout 4. Geez, there were some other ones. Even stuff like Mario Maker, I guess. Really,
Yeah.
maybe not. That's not as strong competition, but
Yeah, it's locked to one system, so.
yeah, it
Um,
kind of.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes out of his studio, and yeah, hopefully he definitely gets to link up with Del Toro again and actually get it to work this time. So,
Please do.
all right, the next story is brought to us by a listener of the show, Vern, and he brought our attention to Star Wars: The Gathering. A Redditor has created 283 cards that could be, I guess, printed and used as their own, as a game. It uses all the mechanics of the Magic the Gathering. There's no changes to the rules. He's used, I guess, going off of whatever the current edition is worth of rules, and he's made up a bunch of different cards. Like, well, let's see what the first one I got in here. One of the Planeswalker type cards is Yoda, the Jedi Master, and he's got the flavor text down there and what his abilities do and all that. So it's all fitting in within the rules. And he's using artwork from different various sources around the internet, I would assume. Probably with
that does look good.
It looks great. He's basically taken and just, changed out the text, cleared it out, and, put what he needed to put in there. But
Hopefully, you know what? Hopefully some Reddit user happens to work with Magic the Gathering, some higher ups, and jumps on this, and it's like, we need to get a deal out now.
At this point, I'd say Disney'd be stupid not to.
Yeah, hire this guy, just use his. I mean, technically, they already own all the rights to that too. They might have to adjust the artwork, but Magic Gathering already owns the words. Disney owns the characters. They just need new pictures. Have this guy work with them some.
Right. Yeah, and the the other thing is too, and here's another one here. It's Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, which has a cool flip mechanic. When Anakin dies, he turns into Vader. Kind of neat.
That would be a neat one.
But anyways, what I was gonna say was, obviously the licensing would be an issue, and obviously this guy, I would assume he's probably already got cease and desists, but this is already.
He did them for free. It's not like he's going to keep making them. 283. That's enough to do a.
That's a full set. That's a full set to start. He's basically done the groundwork. All they have to do is license everything and do it. But this is already leaps and bounds above what the old Star Wars trading card game was back when. What was that? When the new trilogy came out, I think they were light side versus dark side and all that, and it was interesting, but it didn't hold a candle to the mechanics that Magic the Gathering offered. This is the best of both worlds. You have Magic the Gathering with Star Wars, match made in heaven. And like I said, some of the artwork is incredible, and it's nice. I would assume that all these have the proper art credits on the cards as per usual.
I would hope so. That Vader picture right there with him holding the lightsaber, I've actually got that as a background on my laptop.
Oh,
One of
nice.
my background covers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a
So
lot of hard work went into this, and you can find it running around Reddit. And like I said, Vern brought it to our attention, and he actually posted it on our Facebook page. So if you're looking for it, it's on
good
the
job,
visitor
Vern. Save
posts.
us trouble finding some of these articles sometimes.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate user input if people or listener input if people want to direct our attention to something that they'd like to see us cover and dig deeper on, we can do that. So, all right, the last thing we've got for the show is Coleco is going to make a new cartridge-based system, and from what it said, they're doing new and old games to include the methods of 8, 16, and 32-bit games to work on this system, which is pretty awesome, actually, because lots of nostalgia for the older games. But especially now, you see all those classic systems rolling around. And
Oh yeah, I was planning on getting one so I could play some.
Yeah.
Play some games.
What's interesting, though, is that this system is going to be cartridge-based. And while it's been great with discs, there's obvious issues with the usage of discs because of scratches and stuff like that. So I was toying around with the ideas. I was kind of reading through, and I was kind of disappointed when it said it was only going to support 8, 16, and 32-bit games. I think we're going to come around full circle eventually. I think one of the things that we'll see in the future is we'll go back to a cartridge system, and the reason why is if you could imagine having a game that's basically on a solid state drive that's only accessible by the software that's embedded in the console. Every time you would update the game, it would update the cartridge, so that cartridge would be permanently updated to whatever version that they were using for the game, and the game would just front load off of that cartridge instead of a disc. Not only would it be quicker, you would no longer need hard drives on the system. You could maybe front load the price a little more on the cartridge, but the what do you call it? The access times would be so much faster on a smaller solid state drive, and the technology is getting cheaper. It's not getting more expensive. It's only getting cheaper. So it's something that's within the realm of possible. I mean, I've played games off of a thumb drive.
Yeah.
Like the Walking Dead games from Telltales. I've played that off of a thumb drive before. I'm sure it could be done off of an SD card. I feel like discs are a thing of the past at this point.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the point: is that cartridges, are first of all they're fun to collect, right? They're fun to have. I love collecting my old cartridge systems. I don't have any displayed. I got Battletoads and Pokemon Stadium up here, but
my wife.
One, they're durable.
My wife
they're
got
far more
these.
durable than. See, there you go. You got Friday the 13th. What's the other one? Dick Tracy.
No.
It's.
Fester's Quest.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the glare was there.
Yeah,
I was either going to say that or Pro AM.
Oh.
But
that was one of my favorites. The RC Pro Am. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
I was terrible at it though.
And Micro Machines.
But cartridges, they're durable for one thing. They're fun to collect. How Nintendo didn't. They stayed with cartridges even with their 3DS, which I think was a brilliant idea because who has the 3DS mostly? Little kids who are clumsy and people that are traveling.
Oh, yeah.
You need to. You need it to be durable. Unlike the PSP when it first came out, which you could drop a foot on the carpet and the thing would fall apart.
Yeah.
It.
Yeah, and I mean,
and like you said, with the tech here, they could do it. It doesn't. They don't have to be this big. They can be half this size or a third of this size, maybe thicker. I guess
it almost and the other thing that it does is it takes that requirement of having a hard drive in the system, but it also takes away the requirement of that thing that you don't like, which is digital ownership. Because then like you said, you have your cartridge again.
Yeah, exactly.
And while people are all for minimizing the amount of crap they have, I think it would be the more optimal way to go. Especially with, I mean, and it could easily be fixed by, and one would assume next generation systems, whenever those come out, would probably have a solid state drive vice, a spinning disk at that point.
Well, here's the thing. I think we've reported on it, or it might have been before the show started. Nintendo had made didn't they make a patent for a solid, not a solid state, but a cartridge-based system?
Yeah.
Wasn't that patent rumor going around?
I think we did talk about that on the show.
And I think we discussed some of these then. So you guys need to go back and listen to all the shows and then report back to us. We're not going to listen to it. We don't want to listen to this show. But, it makes sense. And like you said, then they got kind of like the best of both worlds because the cartridge is only going to work in that system. So that's pretty much their protection right there that they're harping on about to an extent, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's easy enough to create a proprietary connection, I'm sure, that can only be used for that system.
Not that we won't, in 15 minutes, somebody's not going to figure out a way around it. But
and that was one of the arguments of one of the guys that I was talking about this with. It'll get cracked eventually, but every system does. There's all kinds of hacked systems out there, so.
I mean, we're seeing it every day. Every system gets cracked.
Yeah.
The most secure they're having to be swept and cleaned all the time because everybody's breaking into everything. So that's just a way of life nowadays.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Well, bringing up that old stuff too, I guess it's worth mentioning. We're coming up on that 50th episode. We're gonna. It's a marathon sprint to the end. We're gonna cram that in by the end of the year, and we're gonna go back and pull up the best ofs over the past year.
Best ofs of the show?
What? No, best articles and stuff.
Oh, let's see where they ended up.
Yeah. Some of the stuff that we had predicted would be bad or good, which like Fantastic Four. I mean, we were pretty much spot on.
Yeah, well, I mean, a blind man could see that one coming.
But yeah, the 50th episode, we're gonna end up doing the last week of December, either that Monday or Tuesday would be like the 28th or 29th. We'll figure out a date and solid, and we're gonna have we'll have a special guest on with us to give a third point of view for it. So, and also in saying that, we've also next week is Christmas, so we've got a shorter week, and we'll probably aim for a show possibly Wednesday. We don't want to go ahead and do it on Christmas Day. We'll be spending time with family or whatever. And some of us have to work. But
I don't know what to do.
It'll be a fun episode. We're gonna cover down on some of the holiday stuff going on and your favorite video games. Maybe do a top 10 Christmas movie list and stuff like that. So we'll figure it out. And it'll be a fun, probably a shorter than our usual episode length of about an hour to an hour and a half now. So, but we'll we really blew out of that 1 hour limit a long time ago. So.
But it was like the second episode we were
like second or third, something like that. Yeah. So we'll have an episode next week on probably Wednesday, and then the following Monday we'll do a best of for the year, a nice year end review, and then January 1st of next year we'll go back to having our normal episodes, which will be at the end of that same week. So. It'll be a jam-packed week. We'll have 2 episodes for you that final week of December.
Plenty of podcasts for you guys to listen to while you travel on your holidays.
Yeah, and definitely come join us for the live episode and help us reminisce of the year gone past.
Yeah, so. And we totally talked to you, except for you, Kate Henson.
Yeah, for sure.
Her is awesome, but I didn't want to tell you. I'm playing hard to get.
Oh. All right, well, that's all we've got for this.
I just saw it, I'm sorry.
Oh,
that's all we got. Oh.
Yeah, that's all we got for this week. Thanks for listening, and please leave feedback on our episodes on iTunes, Stitcher, and anywhere else that you can get our podcast from. And please like, share, comment, and subscribe on YouTube, where we are currently talking to you.
You can contact us at ECG_podcast on Twitter, at our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/ECG podcast, or our email address at ecgpodcast@gmail.com. Also visit us at our webpage, www.stasisgeek.com. Or, like Jeremy said, post a comment and we will read it. We will read it out loud.
For sure. All right, until next week, we'll see you. Take it easy and stay geeky.